Hello again, everyone. The title of this video is Fun Times in Russia. And I'm going to share with you a few anecdotes. I think I've got 5 here. And I collected a lot of anecdotes when I was there, a lot of little funny stories, but I've got just 5 for you. I mean, if I was going to tell you all of them, we'd be here all night. So I picked out, kind of 5 at random. Like I say, when I go to another place, when I go to another country, I like to meet people and, see what's going on, see things. Like I said before, I'm not really interested in, national attractions, public monuments, that sort of thing. I like to get out and about and see people, and you're gonna, if you do that, you're gonna return with, a stack of interesting stories to tell people, which that's what travel is all about. Just ask Herodotus. I mean, he's got all kinds of stories. So that's what happened to me when I'm in Russia. I got all these little things, and so I'll just start out real quick right here. The first one is about a Dixie market. Now, I like shopping at Dixie. I mean, Lenta is my favorite big supermarket, but Dixie, these small markets, they got almost like 3,000 of them around Russia. They're not exactly a convenience market. They're kind of, the concept is kind of like the Walmart neighborhood market, except it's much smaller. It's more compact. It's probably only maybe 1,000 square feet in there, something like that, if that, maybe 800 square feet. But they put a lot of stuff in there. So anyway, I go over to Dixie's, which I'll show you where Dixie's is. Here's a map, and here's where I'm staying on the map, which is kind of in the lower left-hand corner. That's Dasson Hall, and then up in the right-hand corner was Dixie Market. That's just across a traffic circle. So I bebop over there and get a couple, bottles of beer and maybe some dried fish, some cheese. They got a little bit of everything over there, and. So, interestingly enough, here's a picture of the Dixie market here. Interestingly enough, the Dixie logo looks like this. You see how it looks there? Written in English, it's spelled D-I-X-Y. But in Cyrillic, the letters spell D-I-K-S-I. So, go figure, Anyway, one evening I go bebopping across to Dixie and go in there and collect my stuff, and I get up to the line, and it's always busy. They got like 2 or 3 cashier lines. And I get in this one, and this dour-looking woman, she's probably about like 55 or something like that, and she's sitting down. All the cashiers sit down. She's doing her thing, and she looks very severe, very engrossed in her job. And so I get up there, she rings up my stuff, and then she asks me something in Russian. Well, she asked it so fast I couldn't pick up the words, and I'm going, I'm sorry, what did I forget? Because I had my money out. And, I guess it must have been a look on my face or something, but this woman just cracked up laughing. She just burst into laughter. And when she laughed, everybody started laughing. The people in behind, the people over in the next line, everybody's laughing, at the Amerikansky, I guess. I don't know, which I take it good-naturedly because, every once in a while I do a little stand-up comedy, so I'm used to people laughing at me. So, so she's laughing, and finally she calls some young guy working there over who speaks English, and he says, would you like a bag? And I go, oh yeah, okay, because I forgot to grab a bag, because the bags are down underneath the counter, and I forgot to grab one. It's only like 5 rubles. And I forgot to grab one because they don't give you a bag. You got to pay for a bag, a little plastic bag. So I go, okay, I get the bag. And that solved that. But I thought that was pretty funny. This woman who looked so severe, she just all of a sudden became this beautiful person. It's just this wonderful, beautiful person. She was just big smile and laughing. And, quite frankly, I kind of fell in love with her. She was just a beautiful woman. And she went from one extreme to the other, just like, boom. Okay. Here's another Lenta story, and if you've seen any of my previous videos, I really like Lenta. And let me show you something. Here's my Lenta card. See that right there? That's my Lenta card. And when you go in and you ring your stuff up, they ring the stuff up, and then they ask you for your card. You swipe it, and you get a little discount of some kind, which is like 5%. They do that around here in the Asian markets, like in Mesa and Phoenix around here. Lily's, Mekong Market, and a couple others, International Foods Market or whatever up there. Boom, they hit the button and you get 10% off automatically. Here they do it with their little card. So I go through there, and now see, most of the time I'm wearing this stupid vest that with all the pockets, and so I put everything in there. And so the last time I went to Lenta, I put my card in the vest. I should have put it in my wallet. So when I get down there in line, I forgot my card, and she asked me for my card. I go, I forgot it. I told her, I'm sorry, I forgot it. Well, this woman, this cashier, when she's ringing up my stuff, she was chatting with a woman at the end of the belt there, the conveyor belt, a housewife or somebody, and they're just gossiping up a storm. So when she's ringing up my stuff, she's just talking to this woman, and she's talking to her back, and I'm catching about every fourth word in Russian. I have no idea what they're saying. And so when I don't have my card, I go, I don't have my card, sorry. This cashier points to the woman. The woman, without missing a beat in her conversation, she zips open her purse, she pulls out her wallet, she zips open her wallet, she hands her Lena card to the cashier swipes the card, gives it back to the woman puts it back in her wallet, puts it back in her purse, zips up the purse, and they keep chattering away. I get the discount. How about that? She didn't have to do that, this woman. She knows I'm an American. I look like an American, kind of, but when I said I'm sorry right away, and she picks up, I forgot my card, she knows, hey, this guy's an American. But she didn't have to do that. She would have just, forget it. And the discount was only like, maybe 75 cents or $1. But she wanted me to have the discount. And I thought that was just a sweet, a really sweet gesture. I thought that was just wonderful on her part, to do that for me. And incidentally, I'm going to slide in a second Lena card story here. I went down there one time. This time I do have my card. And I go down there, I pick up my stuff, they swipe my card. I pick up my things, I go out. And they have some real nice park benches, some grass and a rockway and a real nice park benches out there. So I put my things down on the bench and I pull out a cigar and I lit my cigar. And while I'm lighting my cigar, here comes a customer running out with the Lena card. She said, sir, in Russian, she says, sir, you forgot your Lena card. I said, spasibo, thank you. Well, I hadn't forgotten my card. I had it, I knew I had it in my wallet. And, but I didn't want to tell her that to embarrass her and send her back, But the cashier had told the customer, chase that guy, that American out there, and give him his card. So she runs all the way down the parking lot to give me the card and then goes back, thank you. She's all happy that she did a good deed. I got 2 cards. So then when I get back to Arizona about a month or so later, I run into a young lady, very attractive young lady. Her name was Stasha. And I go, oh, well, that must be short for Anastasia. She says, no, it's short for Anastasia. She says about, the Romanov princess and yada, yada, yada. I said, yeah, I'm familiar with that story. And she goes, well, I was adopted from Russia, from somewhere south of Moscow. And my parents went over and picked me up and brought me back, and now, here I am. But I'm Russian, by birth, and I was born somewhere south of Moscow. I said, well, Anastasia, I'm going to give you a little present here. So when you go back to Moscow, and I said, this came from Domodedovo, she knew where that was at. And I said, well, here's your little Lena card. And I said, you can have this, I have a spare. So I gave her that card. She was like thrilled. She was over the moon that she actually had a souvenir from Russia. So, how cool is that? So, anyway. Okay, so story number 3. I'm walking along one time. I'm doing something. And along the sidewalk, here comes this guy with the biggest dog I ever seen in my life. At least it's not like huge, like a Great Dane, but it's got this monster head. And here they are, and his name was Sergey. Sergey and his dog, Apollo. Oh, man, that's a hell of a dog. And so he let me pet it, and the dog is it's like real mellow. It's almost like a greyhound. You know how a greyhound looks? You know, it's like really mellow. And so this dog is just like, whatever. And it's a boerboel. It's a South African, boerboel translates as a farmer's dog. And so they breed them for protection around the farm, for livestock and personal protection. And they're really good with kids. And they're known as, I guess their nickname, I looked it up, they're known as the Velcro dog because they stay real close to their owner. They don't like to be very far away from their owner. Kind of like a Doberman, I guess. But this dog is like, his mouth is big. You know, I got a picture of his mouth open. That's 800 pounds per square inch. So Sergey was just like, it's really cool. He knew a little English and my little, few words of Russian, and he's, a lot more English than I do of Russian. And so we had a good conversation. I ran into him 2 or 3 times in the birch forest later, and we talked. But he wanted me to hold his dog while he took my picture. Now, how sweet is that? So I held his dog, got the picture with the dog. The dog's going, whatever, he doesn't care. And so, that was kind of a rush. Holding that big dog, it's like a rush for me. Okay, so here's kind of story number 4. Me and Eugene's walking around Moscow, and we think we're somewhere, it's not far from Red Square, and we think we're somewhere near the famous Lubyanka. The prison, the head of the KGB. Before that, it was the head of the Cheka. And, but we don't know. But we think it's around there somewhere. So I see a cop standing on the corner. I said, why don't you go over and ask that cop? So Eugene goes and asks the cop. The cop says, I don't know. Where's the Lubyanka? I don't know. So we continued to walk, and a couple of more blocks, when you know it, there is a Lubyanka, bigger than life. And so it was so funny. And so, look at that massive front on this building, that big, huge granite front. It looks like granite. I think it's marble. But back in the day, the Lubyanka its nickname was the tallest building in Russia because standing in the basement, you could see Siberia. So that was kind of a joke. And but that's what they said. And so of course I got to get my picture standing in the front door of the Lubyanka. And in 1990, they erected the Solovetsky Stone. And here it is right here. It's directly across. It's on the square, but right across from the Lubyanka. And that commemorated all the political prisoners that had been sent into exile from that place. So that was really a sobering thing when you look at that. You look at those names, and you think of those people, the political prisoners, that were sent off just for independence of thought. Nothing more than just independence of thought. And boom, off they go. So to the Gulag. And but we did think it was pretty funny that cop pretended not to know where the Lubyanka was. And I'm thinking maybe it was because some of his relatives were sent from the Lubyanka into exile or into the Gulag and worked to death. Could be. And he wasn't about to admit that he knew where it was. That would be defaming the memory of his relatives, if that's indeed what happened. And that's a charitable explanation for it. I don't want to say the guy was rude because, he wasn't really, he seemed like a nice enough cop, but I don't know, he just dummied up. So maybe that was it, I don't know. So I'm going to save the best one here for last, the best anecdote. Once again, me and Eugene are walking around Red Square, and I see this gaggle of cops. See, right over here. And immediately I think, I got to get my picture with these guys. I pretty much have a lot of respect for cops. And plus, whenever you travel somewhere to some place, most cops will let you get their picture with them. It's kind of like I don't know what, but they don't mind. So I said, well, why not? So I go over. So I go bebopping over there. And these guys, like I say, they're standing there discussing whatever. And I hold up my camera and I says, could I get a photograph, you guys? And this big guy, this one here, this guy under the red arrow, the guy's got to be like 6'4", at 220, like he towered over me. And I go, whoa, this guy's big. And he snaps at me, he just bites my head off. He goes, speak English. I go, thought that's what I was speaking. Can I please have a photograph with you guys? And he gets like, comes back at me, goes, it's not possible. I go, okay. It was just a request, not a marriage proposal. Actually, I didn't say that, but I wanted to. My best Jack Nicholson, you know, thing. It's just a request, not a marriage proposal. but anyway, I go, okay. But what was funny is that the officer that was standing to the right, and you can see him under this arrow here, he was smiling. He had a big smile on his face, the guy with the peaked hat. And a couple other guys were grinning too. So I don't know whether this big cop was really mad at me or he was just busting my chops. I kind of think the latter. He was just one of, you know. I go, okay, fine, sorry. I go back, stand there by Eugene and go, whoa, you know. but really, in a sense, and any way you want to look at it, I guess, I was wrong. Because these cops, I mean, they didn't look like they were doing anything. They just looked like they were just standing around, you know, in a gab fest gossiping. But they might have been out there, like, doing something important, like, you know, discussing terrorist, anti-terrorist maneuver number 47. In case this happened, we'll all do this. You go there, I'll go there. You go out to the tree and cut right, and I'll try to get it to you. I don't know. But it's probably much the same as if I went out onto the field, you know, while TB12 is in the huddle and Colin plays, and I go, hey, Tommy, got time for a picture, a selfie? Yeah, that wouldn't go over too big. So, yeah, I was in the wrong with that. But I will get my picture taken with cops in Red Square. Now, that's my goal. One of these days, I'll get it. And when I do, I'll show it to you. But these guys were big. I mean, 2 or 3 of them were pretty big. But they seem nice enough fellows, but they're really business-like. They're all business. And very impressed, you know. That big cop impressed me even more than Apollo the Boorbell dog. I mean, grief, you know. So anyway. So that's my 5 anecdotes, and once again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.